Get ready to rock.
If you're like me and enjoyed Blue Lightning on the Lynx, you'll remember it as a visually dazzling take on the Afterburner-style action game. For the launch of the Jaguar CD, Atari wanted to leverage that dazzle still lingering, or lynxering, from the original game, and what became of that is the scrolling, scaling explosion fest known as Blue Lightning CD. Want to know what Blue Lightning's like? Well, remember when I reviewed Sky Target? It feels a bit like that, with the core gameplay essentially boiling down to a sprite-scaling blastathon, but with a more extreme soundtrack, screen-filling explosions, and a variety of missions to embark on, like simple destroy-everything style missions to escorts. Register your pilot and a really crisp CG intro starts showing your first objective, a training mission where you have to blow some tanks up. Another excellent CG sequence plays and you're onto the game. What follows is a solid shooter. Your plane control is a bit unwieldy at first as it feels a tad loose with your drifting left and right a bit as you pitch. But you do ultimately end up adapting to this feel and start to get a feel for how much lead time you need to fire missiles or do a strafing run on upcoming enemies. On top of the standard behind the plane view, the game does also feature a nice cockpit view which feels a little more immersive. Once you're off training wheels, select a tour and that same snazzy intro plays before presenting your objective and you're off to the big time. Select a plane and weapons to go with it and you're off. Some missions, like escort missions, are less fun than others, but one feature I do like is the fact that you're given a big red arrow to follow to make sure that you don't lose track of your plane you're taking care of. The best missions in the game are ones where you're just blowing things up. Simple, action-focused affairs without too much ancillary nonsense to keep track of. The ones I absolutely despise are the ones that feature enemy ace pilots. They're extremely aggressive and pestering and the controls aren't quite responsive enough to make these sections as fun as I think they should be. Graphics and sound are something that I really like in Blue Lightning. There's a ton of texture, embossed fonts and good animation scattered around the various menus. The in-game graphics are fine if you don't mind sprite scaling, but some of the sprites have been cut out a little roughly for my liking. Additionally, there isn't a massive amount of variation to the environments. There's deserts, a city, some clouds, and you'll see these a lot. The music and sound in Blue Lightning is great. I love the radical guitar, great explosions, and frequent voices to spice things up. I think it's safe to say that I enjoy Blue Lightning. It's a white-knuckle, challenging game with some surprising depth to its mission variety. If you don't like scaled sprite graphics, then you won't like this, and the difficulty gets a bit nuts sometimes. However, it's still an excellent game and one that's a great value to get with your Atari Jaguar CD when it launched.